So to explain this, we really have to go into flammable limits. And this is usually mostly taught when we, at least when I look at the United States, when we talk about flammable liquids, right? Do you talk about flammable limits when you talk about structural firefighting? You should. You should. So, even though it's not entirely comparable, because we're not talking about one gas, we're talking about an aerosol mixture of a lot of gases, liquids, and solids. But in the head, it works as a good mental picture of what's going on. So, if you look at a scale, if we have, let's take CO, just for example. We know that CO has a flammable range, depending on how you measure it and where you live, between 12.5% to 74%. So we've got a really wide flammable range on CO. That's at 20 degrees Celsius, or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Somewhere, they measured all the gases at that level. You have a scale here, this amount of percentage in the air, how much fuel you have. And this line here, you got fire efficiency or power or boom. I don't know, the higher it goes, the better it burns. So if we start with a mixture of CO in air, which is about 7–8%, meaning not flammable. Why isn't it flammable?
Too lean.
Okay, so if it's too lean, why doesn't it burn?
There's not enough fuel. Too much oxygen.
So why doesn't it burn when it's not enough fuel?
It doesn't transfer enough heat to the other molecules to keep the reaction.
It's not self-sustaining.
Right.
That's some good stuff there. So, in Sweden we have, this is wrong. So the first place, wrong place. Sorry. If we have in Sweden we have a box. I'll show you the box. It exists in the United States also. You can buy it. It's like Bullocks, $5,000 or something. Really expensive. But anyway, so it's a box. It was invented like 30 years ago to teach fire behavior to firefighters. It's a metal box. It's got a glass window. It's got glass all around, explosion proof. It got vents on top to release pressure. It's got a fan, and then you pump propane in it to mix the propane with the air, and then you have a spark, an igniter. They can do various things, but basically you're teaching people and get them to experience and play with flammable ranges. So anyway, now we're putting propane in there, and if you do this, you put it in so that you 7–8%, you ignite the spark here, nothing happens. If we increase the amount of CO, so we get up to the lower flammable range, we get up to, I don't know, 14–15%. Now we get a flammable mixture. So inside the aquarium, it would look like this, somewhat. No, that's not right. I positioned them wrong. I'm sorry. This one. That was stoichiometric combustion, which is the nice word for ideal, the science word. This is fuel-lean combustion. So we get a fairly small, not very violent combustion in that, because it's a very small amount of fuel we have. You know, most of the content in that box is just other stuff. You know, like nitrogen, water vapor, air, oxygen, excess oxygen, and so on. So just a small combustion. So when we get up to, if we increase the rate of the amount of fuel, we get up to what we call the stoichiometric combustion, or the ideal mixture, where the ratio between fuel and oxygen is perfect. So, is this reaction going to go faster or slower than the previous one?
Faster.
Why is it faster?
Fuel molecules spreads quicker, and it lights off the next one.
It spreads quicker, yeah, but that's probably not a really good concern.
It heats everything as it goes out, and you get plenty of energy.
It's more efficient? It's definitely. But why is it more efficient?
It's the most
More
complete
fuel, but if
combustion.
you now, I don't like that explanation.
Using up all the energy you can in that
What?
mixture.
Everybody's got a dance party.
Everyone has a dance party, yes. And what does that mean? Because let's say everyone has a dance party, but what does that mean?
The highest
Besides-
proportion of the,
There's less shit in there.
No excess.
No excess shit. Yes, that is the story. And we call that excess shit thermal ballast, heat sinks. Excess shit, yeah, never heard that. So, if you have, what you get is that now we have, everyone has a dance partner, everyone gets to marry. We have as low amount of nitrogen or water vapor and so on, acting as thermal ballast, heat sinks, slowing the process down. And then we get the stoichiometric combustion. That's a really fast combustion. That is as close as we get in that box without removing the nitrogen inside. And you shouldn't do that. You should not remove the nitrogen, meaning mixing it with just purely oxygen and propane. Do not, that's not even funny.
Be fun to watch.
Yeah. So, again, an ideal mixture, when we have that initial combustion, that spreads the energy, so everyone's got a dance partner, and then the amount of thermal ballast is as small as possible. It's the most efficient flame, it's the most deadliest flame, if you want to call it that. But you still have a lot of nitrogen and water molecules, for instance, in the normal case. That slows the process down.